we're a fan of crossbreed our chickens. We're not really doing a breeding program with our chickens like we do with our cows and everything else. We just getting our plan is buy replacement chicks every year or 2 years. A lot of times people say, "What's wrong with my chicken?" I want to say, "I don't know. Just order chicks every year."
Welcome back to the Backyard Homesteader. Today we're gonna look at what Justin calls, well, he likes to call it the she-shaw, but it's called the pretty shaw. This is one of my favorites. Come on, let's check it out.
This came from, these are real practical, okay? And they weren't always that pretty, okay? Chris has really made them pretty. So at some point, the beautiful one says, "Can we get a pretty one? I just want a pretty coop." And I'm like, "Well, you be okay if it's on wheels?" And we had this challenge before us. And so then we came up with I wanted to call it the she-shaw. Just in case the guys want to build it, we'll just call it the pretty shaw. And it's just pretty, okay? It's fancy. It's too expensive. You'll never pay for it with the egg. I mean, you could have bought the eggs at Whole Foods organic, $9 a dozen, and be better off financially. But it's more than that, isn't it? If you got into it to save money, you better figure out another reason, because you'll figure out you're going to end up spending more money than you thought. And then you're into it for health. You're into it for the food connection. You're in for the food security, and you come up with better reasons. You're into it. Yeah, you want gentlemen, a guy came through our line at HOA or one of these events, and he said, "Hey, I've been married 40 years. Anytime somebody's been married 40 years, I say, "What's the secret?"
Yeah.
I said, "What's the secret?" And he said, 2 words. And I said, "I know. I'm sorry." He said, "No, if you do these 2 words, you'll never need that one." Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Okay. So I said, "Yes, dear." And we figured out how to make this thing pretty. So we got the chrome wheels, the non-flat wheels, trim around the windows, the arched roof. Now the chickens were starting to sit on the nest boxes now, so we had to create a plastic guard over them to keep them out of that. But it's pretty much the mini-me without the hitch, because it's prettier. And it works great. We move it around. So I had the boys, we needed some fresh wood chips in here. They just dumped them in here. The chickens will spread these wood chips on their own. You don't have to go in there and spread it for them. They'll do it. So it's been freshly dumped, so they'll spread it, and over time it'll go to the other side. And we can, textbook, we're moving that pretty shawl regularly and spreading that manure love. Half of their manure comes out at night. Okay, what we learned, we tried to do the romantic thing and let the chickens free range, especially when you first get into homestead. You're enamored with all the romance, and you want to decorate your landscape with the chickens. And you decorate that landscape with the chickens long enough, Miss Thing is stepping in the chicken doo-doo on her way to the mom's night out.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you're in big trouble.
Yep.
Because like I was telling you earlier, the chickens gravitate towards the front steps, the mulch around the apple tree, or the pine tree over yonder. And that's where they go. So then you're like, that's evil chicken poo when you're stepping on it going to mother's night out. You can find them, put them on deep bedding, or move them out and around in the pasture with a Premier One. It's holy chicken squat. So that's how to turn it from evil chicken poo to holy chicken squat. We've got the wood chips in here. Now, people will call me and say, "Well, what's wrong with my chicken?" I'll say, "Well, is it over 2.5 years old? It's already lost a lot of production abilities. It's going to start getting sickly. Let's think about culling this thing. Let's replace it. Is it on deep bedding? Does the deep bedding need refreshed? Does it need a new layer? So if it's in one area, that's the easiest thing you can do. You can go back to your coops and your static runs that are just moonscapes with chicken manure on it, and just get a bag at Tractor Supply on your way home of pine shaving and just scatter it about. Mow and grab the glass clippings and throw it in there. Not only gives it something to do, it becomes the bedding. Just a little nuance is the windows are facing south. You see that? Our south's over there. So best practice, keep your open end towards the south. It's the sunny, livable side, just like it is for humans. It's also good for the chicken. Cold. Hey, people, nobody's asked me this yet, but you're up in like almost Ohio. It's really cold up there. Michigan, who's from Michigan? Okay. Russell and Sam. What are they gonna do if they have a chickshaw and it's like 9 degrees for days on end sometimes?
Move.
Hey, that's what I wondered on the Great American Farm Tour. I'm sitting up there in Minnesota. Randy comes in. He's editing when he wants to see me edit. We're in this converted school bus editing that night, and all of a sudden he says, "Out of nowhere, you know it gets minus 60 here." Y'all heard this story?
Yeah.
So I'm still editing, you know, and then I'm like, "Oh wait, minus 60? Don't bad things happen at minus 60?" I said, "Yeah, your face freezes off. Your car won't start in 3 minutes."
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, it's a free country. Move south. In Arizona, Danelle from Weedham and Reap, we went and saw her. Anybody know her channel? 3 inches of rain a year. Just as hot as can be. And I'm thinking, you can move east. When we were out west, we longed for rain. We longed for rain. And a lot of people will come east from west and say, I can't breathe in this humidity. But when we were out west, we're like, I can't breathe. There's nothing in this air. We were relieved when we went to Hawaii and it had a little more humidity. And also people come from out west, east, and they feel like, oh, I'm claustrophobic. This is just crazy because there's like trees everywhere. Anybody feel that? Anybody from the west?
No.
Nobody from the west? You're not going to claim it.
No, I'm like, I don't feel claustrophobic.
You're from California.
Yeah.
So, but you don't feel claustrophobic over
No.
here? I get that a lot from people out west because it is wide open. And you see for long distance. But when I was out there, I felt exposed.
Right?
I don't know what I'm hiding from. I felt exposed. I guess my people, I don't know, they were into something or another. You go up and through these woods, you see these little houses, all these nooks and crannies. What was I talking about? That was another bonus. We've thrown in, we weeded before you guys came. You'll see the mess in the vlog. It's funny. I create this vlog and I'll be like, I don't want anybody to see it like this. Like 50,000 people watch that show.
Right.
But we cleaned it up for you guys. But anyway, y'all get to see the mess next week. We threw all our produce in here. See it?
Yeah.
They just love it. Give them something to do. What they don't eat. Somebody asked. Well, the internet says, oh, don't feed them onions. Don't feed them garlic. Don't feed them tomatoes. They'll die if they eat avocado. Oh, what about rotten cheese? Eat all of them. In the Swiss Family Robinson, based on this true story, right? They would feed their monkeys. No, they would feed the food. They didn't know if they could eat it to the monkeys and the chickens. And see if they died or not. Because chickens, even though they're bird brains, they know what they can and cannot eat.
There you go.
Even better than we are. Because why? They don't have the internet. They don't have this distraction. They're very in tune with their bodies. And we're distracted by cake and the internet and the dentist appointment and this and that. So maybe don't feed the chickens junk food, but what do you do with chicken guts?
Put it in the bucket.
Here's a cool way to turn it to feed if you're weirded out by feeding it to them directly. Chickens eating chicken. But you can put the guts inside that bucket and the flies will come. Now don't do it in December. We're gonna have fly activity, so June and beyond. And the flies go in there and they lay their larvae in there and the maggots develop and they come out for the light and the chickens will just hang out here and they'll be jumping up. This is all free food. So if we have a dead chicken or a roadkill or anything you can put in there. And then they get this nice free protein source. If he's wondering what the box in front of that is, that's a prototype for that mineral sled that I was telling you about that's going to go behind that. That ended up being too short. That's got minerals in it. That's got poultry NutriBalancer, kelp, and 2 buckets are filled with grit. There's 4 bays in it. So imagine that, but a little longer. I found when we pulled that, because it's square, it kind of wobbles behind. It doesn't slide well, so it needs to be longer. And why not make it a place where the feed and the water could go too? It could be moved. So that's kind of the future of the mineral sled I was telling you all about. Oh, notice we end up having to go. Oh, this would be plans. This is coming to you guys. This fence system. I call it the compost corner. We did normal fencing. It didn't work. I don't care if we clip their wings or whatever, they could still get out. We went cattle panel size, 52 inch, they don't get out. They don't get out. Because we put the poultry wire over the cattle panel and it goes down into the ground about 6 inches, so they can't get under, little chicks can't get out. I call this is the prison. People get out too much, they end up getting marked and put in here in prison. Okay, they cannot escape this. This is high intensity, what do you call those?
High security.
High security. Maximum security, that's what it is. Maximum security is. I don't never shut the coops at night. Guys, if you've kept chickens just 1 year and you've let them out in the morning and put them up at night, how many visits is that? That's 7
A lot.
something visits. Yeah. Have you heard this story where I was about to go to bed and I'm laying in the bed, I'm back over in the corner of that house, I'm laying in the bed and I'm in that nice place between reality and dreamland. It's just so sweet. I'm about to go to sleep. Rebecca loves it. First of all, nudging is a pet peeve, and certainly getting woke up right before you go to sleep. Did you put up the chicken? No. Okay. Well, aren't you gonna? Okay, I was not doing the garden of peace at this moment. I'm in yes dear mode. And I said, you know, this was Lyme, to my credit, I was in a lot of pain with Lyme disease early on here. And I said, no. Oh God. She said, shut it up. And I said, just took a deep breath. Sometimes I wish they'd die.
Oh!
But after you've done that for 10 years, that's 7,000 visits. It's pretty old. So we figured out a way, you know, a maximum security fence, nothing's getting in there, a dog roaming around, we can leave the coop open. If you keep the other coops, they're inside of an electric net. Make sure the electric net's on, you can keep the coop open. The animal isn't gonna press it, you know, they aren't gonna charge it. What they're gonna do is come up with their moist little nose and get curious and touch it with their little nose. And it'll shock them real good. They're barefoot. So you know, they have rubber boots on that sometimes don't conduct the electricity. They're gonna hit that with that little nose and they're gonna get shocked and hopefully jump back and not forward. No, they're saying to climb. No, we don't have that kind of predator pressure, that kind of crazy predator pressure. If we have something big die, we throw it in the corner of the woods like that mom pig, and we just feed them a little bit. They stay happy and they stay away.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I really love this one because, you know, we're always so serious about doing things the right way, the most economical way. Sometimes you just want to make something pretty, right? For no other reason than for your own enjoyment. So, peace. I hope you liked it. Don't go away because we have more. Yes, indeed. This was an amazing day, and I just want to share it with all of you.